Hey, it's Nancy Yearout, and welcome to High Road to Humanity. Hey, I wanted to come on today and talk a little bit about Trump and the European leaders joined Zelensky in Washington after Trump's shift towards Putin. That's the headline, and I'm just very excited. Trump's reversal on a ceasefire has left Ukraine and allies scrambling to work out the best path forward. That's the byline. But Trump going over there and meeting Putin in Canada with the flyover. I mean, it was just fantastic to see him step up and do this for our country and do this for the people who are suffering in Ukraine and in Russia. This was just an amazing thing. Another headline is Marco Rubio says a Russian-Ukraine ceasefire deal is not off the table. And I agree with that. I think they will work something out. Trump is a deal maker. Remember that, the art of the deal. So he's good with these things. The Secretary of State said he didn't believe placing more sanctions on Russia would be effective toward reaching a peace deal. Now, Vladimir Putin is not to be trusted. He is a former KGB agent. I'm going to tap in real quick. I don't do this often. And just see what my angel says about Vladimir Putin. What do you think about him? She says he's like a gladiator. He's evolved from ancient times as a leader, and he is ruthless. And he's not for the people. He's for fame and I see land, fame and the land, profit, land, creating. Um, he wants to have a legacy, is what I'm seeing, a legacy that what he's done in accomplishment. And Trump has got in his way. That's what I pick up from this. So we'll see. Now I'm going to ask if Trump will make a deal with I get a no that he may not make a deal with them. Not the deal he thinks he's going to make. There will be a ceasefire, but he will waver on some of and I'm talking about Putin, I guess, will waver on some of the stipulations. So they will come to an agreement, but it won't be everything that Trump wants, is what I'm picking up. But this is divinely guided. That's what I get right now. That gives me shivers. This is divinely guided. So just want to say some of the other news today. Pakistan defends flood response after over 270 people killed in their northwestern district. A lot of killing going on in the world. Very sad. Las Vegas growing mosquito problem. It's a ticking time bomb. And I don't know if you guys have heard about the mosquito problem in Las Vegas, but keep an eye on that. The latest NBC News poll, this is coming from NBC today, I pulled, see where America stands on politics, the economy, and Ukraine. And I think more than anything, people do want to see a ceasefire. You can let me know in the comments, but I think everybody wants a ceasefire. Nobody wants to see people being killed on a daily basis. And I think Trump has compassion, and I don't feel like Putin does. I feel like the big difference there. They're both leaders, but one with compassion, one with a heart, and one without. So I do see here also in the headlines, protesters go on strike in Israel demanding ceasefire and release of the Gaza hostages. So that's still not cleared up. There's still hostages out there that we're still trying to get back, and I know there were Americans as well. 3 people were killed today, 8 injured in a shooting in a Brooklyn club. I'm in Connecticut, so I bring this up. There were multi-shooters involved, police said, and nobody is in custody in connection with the attack. That's pretty darn sad. A lot going on in the world, a lot of craziness going on in the world. And I say stay centered, stay connected with the divine. That's the best we can do. Say a prayer, be aware of what's happening, but don't let it affect you. Connect with God, connect with the earth, connect with your angels, and stay, grounded. I say grounded, go to the beach, it's still warm out there, walk on the sand. That will ground you. Go outside, stand in the grass, it'll bring you back. Take a moment, sit down with the tree, read a book. Get out there in nature. Nature is the best thing you can do. It's summertime. It's August, but it's still summertime. So get out there and enjoy this warm weather and enjoy nature, because with all the craziness going on in the world, we do need to be grounded. And nature, just being outside, you know, grounds us. Whether you walk or ride a bike or just sit down or play badminton or croquet or whatever your game preference is, it's just great to get outside. I do want to talk about something I put together recently. I've spent a lot of time on it, so I'm coming in today to talk about it, as well as the news that's going on. There's a lot of narcissistic people in this world. There's a lot of narcissists on the planet, a lot of empaths on the planet too. And a lot of the empaths will be attracted to the narcissists because they want to fix them. They're empathetic, and narcissists lack empathy. If you don't know about narcissistic characteristics, that's one of the main characteristics, is that narcissists lack empathy. They don't have the empathy for other people. I was reading a book that was talking about a gentleman, him and his wife were married, and she had cancer, and he had no empathy for her cancer, and he would make snide remarks when he had to drop her off in front of the hospital. And this is what happens when you're with a narcissist. And I grew up in a narcissistic household. And my mom, I guess it wasn't until I was older and I was out of the house and I had been around other people. And then I realized the little snide remarks that she would make. And you think, well, did she really mean it like that? But narcissists will do this. They will be very nice and happy to your face. And then all of a sudden, they'll make some random cutting remark. And you're like, what? Did they really say that to me? And this is what narcissists do. They don't have empathy and they have low self-esteem. They don't like other people who are, high vibrational. If they do, they want to bring you back down because they don't like you being up on a high pedestal. They want to be the life of the party. The narcissist wants to have all the attention. Okay. You'll see this in the workplace. You'll see a lot of narcissistic bosses. You'll see where a narcissistic boss will be really nice. And then during a conversation, he or she will slide in some kind of really rude comment, and you're just like, what? Kind of taken back. That's a narcissist. Okay. They're letting you know the mask is coming down. They're letting you know who they really are. And this is a personality disorder. I want you guys to know that narcissistic behavior is a personality disorder. I feel and I know it comes from generation after generation. This is behavior. Some people say they're born with it. I've heard people say that. You can heal from it though. You can heal from narcissistic abuse, because here's what happens. If you have grown up in a narcissistic household, okay, and this is all you know, when you go out into the world, it's a real shock to realize that other people don't behave like this. And when you do, you start to realize, wait a minute, what's going on here? And if you do take the time to heal, it will stop the chain. It will stop this narcissistic chain that can go on in families. So personally, I had a narcissistic mom, grew up in a narcissistic household, went ahead and married a lot of narcissistic people because that's the vibration you're resonating at. So you match the frequency, you see. And until you realize what you're doing, the universe will keep presenting this situation, whether it be parent and child, boss and worker, or whether it's in a relationship. These events will be placed in front of you over and over again until you understand what narcissistic behavior is and how to put up boundaries and how to walk away and how to say no. Now, a lot of empaths out there just don't know how to say no because they have so much empathy for everybody. And empaths think they can fix these people. There's so many empathic people on the planet now, I believe, to raise the vibration. But on the flip side, narcissists cannot create their own empathy. They just don't have it in their soul. So they love empaths to try to take their light and take their energy, and they can really drain you. It's interesting. If you see a narcissist in a relationship, say the husband's the narcissist and the wife is not, the wife will look drained and awful, and the husband will look wonderful and healthy. In fact, dis-ease can set in because of this behavior, because it's energetic and it's draining you of all your good energy and your light and your positiveness. And, the best thing you can do is get away from a narcissist. If you can't, if you're working and your boss is a narcissist, yes, I do say start looking for a new job, but you can put up boundaries and you can stand up for yourself and you can say something when they make these snide remarks. For me, I'm always taken back so much that I'm not that quick to say something back to them. But yeah, that's what happens with narcissistic people. Over the years, I've read about it, studied it, worked on myself because I grew up in a narcissistic household, had many narcissistic relationships, and learned how to heal. And it was really a blessing to have gone through all of this, because now I've healed myself and I've got myself back and my power and my joy and, and who I am, my personality, me. And we give that away a lot of times in a narcissistic relationship, whether it be, a personal relationship, business, friendship even can do this. Children can be narcissists. So there's so many different variations of narcissistic behavior. What I will say is I healed through connecting with God, connecting with spirit, connecting with the angels, and it really changed my life. So that's why I'm on the soapbox. So what I did was I put together a really cool brief class on how to teach people to heal from this behavior, how to heal your heart, how to heal your soul, how to heal your mind, from this craziness, because it is very devastating to your energy. It's very devastating to be subjected to a narcissistic person. So I want you guys to check it out. Put it up on my website. If you know someone who has lived through narcissistic behavior or is in a situation right now, it will help. I do a class. We go through different healings with the angels, because each angel has healing ability. I've talked about the angels. I talk about the angels in my book, A Guide to Angel Communication and Spiritual Law. You guys can check this out, How to Connect with Your Guardian Angel. And I do talk about energy in my other book, Wake Up, the Universe is Speaking to You. But this is really about how I teach you what I did. I work with the angels and I bring in the angels for different healing things in your body and in your mind and in your spirit. So we work with the angels, we work with spirit, we give you affirmation. It comes with a workbook, and I do videos, and so you get to hear what I have to say. I give you my stories and I teach you how to heal your heart. So having said that, I will let everyone go for today. I really appreciate everybody's support. Check out my new class. I do have a class on angels. If you want a psychic reading, sign up on my website, NancyYou'reout.com. If you want an energy healing, happy to do it for you. Send it out. Love and light to you guys, and God bless. Have a good week.